It has been almost 4 years since I've binged. And sometimes it feels so surreal that this is my life because I remember in 2018 when I was struggling so heavily with my relationship with food and binging, I just thought binge eating was something that I was going to struggle with for the rest of my life. It was 10 years of me restricting foods, fearing weight gain, weighing myself every day, over exercising, taking foods out of my diet. Like all I really knew was an unhealthy relationship with food for 10 years of my life. And I remember some points being like, I'm going to just binge for the rest of my life. But I'm also not shocked that I'm here and I've maintained a binge free life for almost 4 years because I put in the work. I practiced not giving into my urges. I ditched the dieting mentality. Like there were things that I did to get here. And I want to share the biggest lessons that I've learned being almost 4 years completely binge free, because there's so many things that I've learned, so many amazing lessons, and I am so committed to helping you end your binge eating, but not just end it. I don't want to just help you stop binge eating. I want to help you maintain a binge free life because that is where true freedom begins. Truly. Like ending your binge eating is great. I'm going to help you get there. But what's even more impressive is being able to maintain it, not just for a few months, not just for 1 year, not just for 2 years, not just 3 years, but 4, 5, 6, 10, 20, 30 plus years. So the first lesson that I want to share with you guys is ditching diets and ditching the whole dieting mentality is hands down one of the most important steps in conquering binge eating. If you think about it, of course, you are going to feel impulsive if you have these food rules. If you tell yourself you can't eat after 7 o'clock, if you tell yourself every single meal must include a protein, every single meal must include a vegetable, you can only have one small piece of chocolate. Well, of course, you are going to feel out of control with food. If you think about all of the foods that you tend to binge on. Like literally, I just want you to think about all the foods that you tend to binge on. For me, it used to be cashews, granola bars, protein bars, chocolate, like sweets, all of those foods. I would never allow myself to have them. Like cashews, I would never allow myself to have them, and I would always binge on them. I would never allow myself to have sweets, and then whenever I would binge, I would have the sweets, right? So, of course, the foods that you deem as like bad or off limits are going to be the foods that you're going to binge. So, you must ditch the diet mentality. And I know it's hard. That's one of the hardest things, right? Because again, if you're like me and you spent years dieting and you hop from diet to diet, all you know inside of your brain is how many calories this has. Like I remember looking at an apple and like, I know how many carbs that has. I remember looking at eggs and be like, oh, I know the protein. Like it's just automatic, right? But ditching the dieting mentality is so important because you don't want to be thinking about food all day. You don't want to be obsessing over calories. And if you don't want to be thinking about food all day, you have to stop believing that there's good or bad foods. You have to stop seeing food as macros or numbers, and you have to see it for just here's an apple, here's a chocolate, right? And I know that's challenging, but that was the biggest thing for me because many of you guys know my background of, being the healthy one in the friend group, right? And I cared a lot about my health, and it doesn't mean you don't have to care about your health, right? It's like, what it actually means is you have to also stop being so hard on yourself. Like, it's okay if you eat differently than how you ate for 10 plus years. You don't, how you ate maybe for 10 years, being on all these diets is what led you to binging. So you can't keep doing that if you want to stop your binge eating. You guys understand that, right? And I had that huge like epiphany breakthrough moment. And I'm like, anytime that I would kind of get mad at myself of like, Lorna, like you're eating pasta and you're eating bread. Like you used to not eat those foods. Like, what are you doing? Hi, hello, I'm healing my relationship with food. Hi, hello, I'm ending my binge eating. And it doesn't mean like go and eat bread and pasta, but it's like you can go to the restaurant and if that's what you're craving, like you can order it. Like That is what ditching the dieting mentality is. It's not just like eating whatever you want, but it's like if you're wanting something, you can eat it without guilt, right? So for me, it's like in the summer, I don't go out for ice cream every single day. But if I want it, I'm like, hey, Andrew, like, let's go for a drive. Let's go. We have a beach close by our house, like 10 minutes away. It's like, hey, let's just go to the beach. Let's go to our shop and let's just, grab some ice cream or grab some chocolate. There's a place that has these delicious, like, first of all, I found dark chocolate almonds, which are like so, so, so good. And we actually did that this summer. We went with my parents and we walked by the beach. We got ice cream and got some chocolates. And it's just like, that's freedom. That's ditching the dieting mentality. It's not like, oh, but like, yeah, but like, it's too late of a notice. Like, I didn't track my macros, or like, is it going to fit my macros? Like, there's none of that. It's just, okay, yeah, sounds good. Let's go. Freedom, freedom, freedom. So that was the first biggest lesson, is ditching the dieting mentality. And you can do it slowly. It's not like you have to have all these crazy food rules to eat whatever you want. It's slowly introducing foods that are scary for you, like slowly introducing them one at a time. The second lesson that has been so powerful that I learned is not giving into your binge urges is going to allow you to get rid of them. Hands down, this is such a powerful lesson. You guys know I'm the queen of rewiring your brain. If you want to get rid of your urges, I can help you get there. And not giving into your urges is going to be very helpful in helping you reprogram your brain, become less impulsive with food, and get rid of those urges. And I know it's challenging because I've been there. I remember when an urge would come on and I'm like, oh God, here we go. It's so uncomfortable. Like, it just literally felt like I had to give in. It wasn't even like, maybe I should give in. It felt like this compulsion of like, it was demanding and so persistent of like, this is what you have to do. And so I kept reminding myself that the short bursts of discomfort that I would feel every time the urge came on was so worth the long-term freedom, joy, happiness, bliss that I would experience no longer struggling with binge eating. If you just always want instant gratification, well, I just want to feel comfort now. I just want to feel relief now. And you keep giving into your urges, you're going to also experience the guilt, the shame, and the judgment long term. So you have short burst comfort of giving into the urge. You feel the high, you feel the euphoria feeling, you feel the dopamine, you feel the relaxation, whatever it is, for a very, very short period of time, followed by constant guilt, constant shame, constant judgment, and you're stuck in the cycle. And the urges become stronger. So for me, it was like, although it was uncomfortable not giving into the urge, it's like I knew that short burst of discomfort was worth long-term comfort for the rest of my life, no longer struggling with these urges, no longer struggling with feeling impulsive around food. You can just eat normally and free. So that was a huge lesson for me. It was like, okay, Lorna, instant gratification sounds fantabulous, but that's actually not what you want. Like, you want long-term freedom. Like, you want to end binge eating for good. So if you want to end binge eating for good, you can't just keep relying on instant gratification. Because how easy is at the end of the day, after a long day, you're like, just one more time. Just this one more time. But it's like, this one more time, one more time, one more. I remember telling myself one more time like a bajillion times. And I was like, okay, something needs to change, because by me continuing to give into my urges, nothing's changing. I'm not becoming less impulsive. I'm becoming more impulsive with food. So that is where the discipline comes in. And if you don't know what to do when you feel the urge to binge, you got to join my Stop the Urge program. I teach you the most incredible, effective, brain-based tools, nervous system regulation techniques for when you feel the urge to binge that will help you to not give in. And of course, how to prevent those urges from arising, and how to eventually get rid of them, how to get rid of those urges. So if you're not inside of that program yet, message me, Stop the Urge, and I'll send you all of the details for that. Now, the third biggest lesson that I've learned in maintaining a binge-free life for almost 4 years is joining a community of other women who are beyond ready to heal their relationship with food, and they're so committed to ending their binge eating will change your life. I didn't try to figure out how to stop binge eating on my own. Well, I did until I realized okay, there are other people that have conquered that can help me. So I'm going to get the proper support. I'm going to get the proper coaching. I'm going to get myself plugged into a community. I'm going to learn the tools, and I'm going to be part of a community so that I don't have to feel alone. Because when I was struggling, nobody understood me. Nobody understood me. A therapist didn't understand me. My doctor didn't understand me. My partner didn't understand me. My mom didn't understand me. How many times have you tried to explain binge eating to your partner and they just say to you, watch your portions? They just say to you, well, don't eat so much. Well, they just say to you, don't buy the chocolate. And you're like, yeah, but you don't get it. So the moment that you surround yourself with a community of other people who are badasses, who are also ready to conquer binge eating, who are also ready to heal their relationship with food, you're not going to only feel less alone, but you're going to feel so much more inspired to take action and to actually heal your relationship with food, because you're going to see people in the community that are celebrating binge-free days, binge-free weeks. You're going to see them traveling all across the world, or on vacation, or they were baking cookies with their daughter, or they were going out for dinner and they were able to leave food on their plate. They were able to not give in to their urges. And you're like, oh my gosh, if she can do it, then I can do it. And that is just honestly so exciting for you. It's like, okay, this actually works. I want to be that person that drops a win in the chat. I want to be that person that drops in the chat, you guys, I felt the strongest urge and I didn't give in. I want to be the person in the chat that says, I went out for dinner and I was able to leave food on my plate, even though the chicken pesto pasta was so good, I was able to leave food on my plate. You want to be that person. The community is there to lift you up on your not so good days, but the community is also there to cheer you on and to love on you and to give you so much credit for all the wins that you're experiencing. When you're trying to do this on your own, who's celebrating you? Your partner doesn't get it. Your mom doesn't get it. Your friends don't get it. This community will be life-changing for you. This is why every single one of the programs that I run has a community aspect. This is hands down every single client that I work with. Whenever I say, what's your favorite part about my programs? They're like, the community, the community, the community, the community. It's life-changing, because where else can you celebrate that you didn't give into an urge? Where else can you celebrate a binge-free day, a binge-free week, a binge-free month? Where else can you celebrate the fact that you had some chocolate with lunch and didn't feel impulsive and you just were able to stop after a few pieces? Where else can you do that? Nowhere. The community makes the biggest difference. This is why all of the programs that I run, my membership, all my programs, the academy, it's all community-based, because you need the community. That's truly what helped me. It helps all my clients, and it's life-changing. I was actually interviewing a few of my clients, and they said, the community is just everything. It's such a safe place, but also when you think there's no way anyone's gonna say that they're experiencing this as well too. I must be the only one. And then you bring it to the group and they're like, yeah, I've done that before. Yeah, I do that. And you're like, oh, whoa, okay, I'm not crazy. It just feels so good. So the community was one of the biggest, greatest things that I plugged myself into that allowed me to conquer binge eating. The fourth lesson that I learned being binge free and maintaining it for almost 4 years is trusting the process. Trusting the process. This journey is not whoop, it's not linear. It's not as soon as you start your journey, it's everything is just incredible and rainbows and sunshine and butterflies and everything. There's going to be such good days where you don't even feel the urge. You don't binge. You go to the restaurant and stop when you're full. There's going to be those days, but then there's also going to be days where you're not feeling your best. This is life. But I never once gave up on my journey. I continue to trust the process. Even on the days where I was still binging, I trusted the process. Even on the days where I felt uncomfortable in my own skin, I kept going. I trusted the process. I showed up for myself every single day, and I fully committed to this process of conquering binge eating. No matter how long it was going to take me, I was committed, and I was going to trust the process. And that made a huge difference, trust in the process. Because healing your relationship with food is something that you've probably never done before, right? So you don't know the outcome. When you've gone on so many different diets, it's like you know what to expect. Okay, the number on the scale goes down, your clothes fit better on you, you drop weight, like blah, blah, blah. You know what to expect. But when you're healing your relationship with food, you don't know what to expect because you've never done it before. You've probably done 25 different diets, you know the outcome. Healing your relationship with food, it's like you're almost like walking into like a path, or you're on a path, a trail that you've never walked before. That requires faith, that requires trust. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but I trust myself. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but I'm a freaking badass and I can do hard things like conquer binge eating. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but like, obviously, what's the alternative? The alternative is to go back to dieting. And heck freaking no, I'm not going back there, because dieting is what sent me into these habitual cycles. So no, thank you. There were times on my journey where I was like I could just easily go on a diet. Like, you guys know, you know how to diet, right? You know how to lose weight. Like, it's so easy to go on a diet and boom, you lose weight. But for me, I was like, I'm not going to do that, because that's not what I want. That's literally what I did my whole life. And I'm fed up with it. So I kept going. I committed to healing my relationship with food. I fully trusted the process. And that's why I'm here. And all the clients that I work with, it's so funny. They're like, I am so glad that I trusted the process. Like, they're like, I'm just so glad that I went all in on myself and I kept trusting the process. They're like, I just trusted you, Lorna. Like, I don't even know why. I just trusted you. One of my clients, I interviewed her and she was like, I just trusted you because I know that you've gone through this and everything that you say is so relatable. So I just trust you. I trust you. I trust you. And she's like, I'm so grateful that I trusted the process, because she's like, I've never been the happiest I've ever been. I've never felt as free with food as I ever felt. She's like, not having any urges. She's not binging. This is what happens when you trust the process. It doesn't just happen for me. It can happen for you as well too. So I can not only help you stop binge eating, like, I'm going to help you stop binge eating. That's inevitable. I've done that for myself. I've done that for all my clients. But what I actually am most excited for is helping you stop binge eating and then maintaining it. Not stopping it and then reverting back to old habits. If you don't do things sustainably in the first place and you rely on distraction and quick fix solutions, you're going to stop your binge eating maybe and have some binge free days, but then keep going back to old habits because the urges are still there. When you do things sustainably, when you rewire your brain out of these habitual cycles, you end binge eating for good. When you get rid of your urges, you end binge eating for good. When you do these things, when you rewire your brain, you get rid of your urges, you end binge eating. There's no more urges. The urges stop popping up. You're less impulsive with food. So this is how I have been able to maintain it for almost 4 years. If I just relied on staying busy and like journaling every time I felt the urge, or like brushing my teeth, or like those quick fix solutions, I would not be able to maintain that for over 4 years. There's no way. I'd be so exhausted. Like, every time you feel the urge to binge, you're going to have to go like stay busy or like call a friend or go for a walk. Like, that's not life. So I can help you stop binge eating, and I can help you maintain it long-term. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and beyond, for the rest of your life. So these are the biggest lessons that I've learned. As a recap, ditching the dieting mentality, ditching the diets is going to be extremely beneficial in helping you conquer binge eating. You have to practice not giving into your urges. As uncomfortable as it is, you have to not give into your urges. Being part of a community will change your life. Truly, being part of a program, being part of a community will change your life. And trusting the process is needed. It's required for you to keep going, stay in momentum, and to finally reach the end where you feel so balanced, calm, and relaxed around food. These are the biggest lessons. I am so excited to help you make 2024 your binge-free year and beyond. Like, this is your binge-free year, and then I'm going to help you maintain it for the years to come. This is the greatest gift that you can ever, ever, ever give yourself. If you're ready, let's freaking go. I cannot wait to support you.